Afternoon, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. It's lunchtime trading. So we usually hop on and come in and do $100 before lunch, but I had a private one-on-one. And again, $100 before lunch is very cute and sweet. But the client that I was on today with this morning made over $1,000 this morning. I do offer one-on-one private sessions. It's similar to what we do here. Like I come online, we break down the charts, we look for positioning, and I really help you walk through and navigate the trade, making sure you understand and see the setup in order for you to truly make a profit and understand the trading scenario and not just guess like, oh, I think it's gonna do this. No, we look at the chart, we get a clear view of what's going on in the market, and then we take action. So I wanted to break down the trade from this morning and also the trade that I just closed out, which was almost 100% return. I closed it at 97. I could have held a little bit longer, just seeing where this wick went to, but there was a lot of funky action inside of this wick, which is why I wanted to come on. Like we can see buyers are still, or sellers are still trying to push this down, and buyers are coming in. See that strong wick. But this was all very predictable. And I told everybody, I was like, hey, when we break that low, it can go lower. And we can see here using the mogul algo indicator, I can see a break of structure. Again, once you get under VWAP, a clear close, and you can see how many times the market has tried to push up and overtake this level. Those are some key giveaways on when the market's going to give up, and you can see that final drop. Also, it's the lunchtime. So most trading or most buying is a little bit more stagnant. So it was an easy setup to see. I didn't want to be early. I didn't want to get caught up in the chop. So I waited. I waited for the opportunity. I said, okay, lower high, lower high. Once we come under the orb again, we should make a lower low again and try to break this structure, which will be testing the low of the day and then taking that out. And so I was able to capitalize on that. I had a little bit of capital still left in my account, so I took very close to the money, 676. Let me take that back. I don't know if it was 676 or 675. So I took 675, put my entry where the cost of my contract was $45. I closed it in profit for 44. I should have just went in and just did 100% and closed it there, but I didn't. So I came up shy of $1, but still 100% or 97% return is still very good. I like it. But let's talk about the trade that the client took this morning. And so my client was trading SPX. I actually took SPY. But again, when I trade SPX or if I'm looking at SPX, I like to be on a 1 minute just so we can see the move and get out. I'm going to cut the mogul algo off for just a second. And again, we traded early this morning, waited for the chop to play out again. There's no need to get in as soon as the market opens. It's very risky trading during that time. You want to wait for the market to settle a bit, and that's what we did. So market opens here, starting to settle, sold down. We didn't grab this one. I said, let's wait. Let's see if we get a retest. We waited for the market to about 9. So now we're seeing this bottom out. We're feeling pretty confident that since we're not making higher highs, we're going to make another low. That client got into the put trade right here. I can't remember the contract. I think they did post it though. But the trade, they got the contract, was $830. Now, this is not your typical trade that newbies to get into because that's quite a bit of capital to start out with. But she is a little bit more on the aggressive side when it comes to trading and did well with my guidance. So we got into the trade and immediately we're on the call and she waits about a few minutes and say, Chaz, I already got in. And I said, okay, you're in the trade. Just go on out there. Okay. So I said, well, so what's your stop loss and your take profit? And she's like, well, I don't know. Like, where do you think it can go? And I'm like, well, before we take any trade, remember, we want to know what's our reward, our risk to reward is going to be. We want to know where we're going to cut and where we're going to take profit. She was like, "Well, you tell me, and we'll trade this out." So I took a SPY put because I wasn't being as aggressive today. And usually when I'm on a call with a client, I don't trade. It's a little distracting trying to make sure they are profitable, and then me managing my own trade. I don't want to take away from their session, so I usually don't trade. But I did get into. It looks like I had the same contract from this afternoon. Oh yeah, so I took the same contract again. So I made this morning. I took the 675 put. I made 78% on that one. I percent made $50. Then I made another 44. So not quite $100 before lunch, but close enough for me. And we still have the afternoon to trade, but they got into their SPX contract. Let me see if I can find the trade. Well, the particular contract that they took, so I can give y'all the reward that you can get. Oh, I think she moved it. Okay, I can still see it. So she took the 67.80. So this is entry about here, 67.98.97, and she took a 67 put. Wrote this in. Like I said, the contract was 8:30. She got out. We got out of somewhere about right here, and she was able to close that contract for $1,960. So beautiful trade, over 100% return. They still had a little bit more room, but we didn't want to be too risky. That was well over 100%. We can take profit and get up out of there. Once this was closed, because we definitely didn't want this to reverse and we lose some of those gains. So again, she took 148%. I took 77%, which was still good for me not to be trading during the call. Again, I took the 675 during the same time period. So if we go back to SPY, we're going to switch this back over to a 5-minute chart and look at my position and trade. Now, forgive trading here. I'm going to upgrade over the course of the holidays because I don't know if it's StreamYard or my trading view. Neither one of these are one to really allow me to. I'm sorry for that, guys. Like I said, neither one of these are really trying to let me show off these trades. It's just like it's hesitating a lot, but we're going to try to make it through here. So let me break down this trade. Let me know where you're tapping in from, what trade setup you were looking at. I think somebody posted yesterday that they were going to do that. They had the 250, the 249 puts on IWM. So I know those printed quite nicely. It's back up under there as well. So I'd love to know. I can't remember who did it, but let me know what those profits, what you got in profit there. So let me get back into my trade for today on that. So again, they got into SPX. I got into SPY, waited for that drop here. Boom, I'm out 78%. And you can see we're hitting highs. We're just kind of stepping down. And this will be a good opportunity for a scalp. You could scalp this up to resistance, scalp it down to support, up to resistance. Now, when we get that out of 50, so it look a little bit better and give a better visual. There we go. Actually start from this level, and you can see the next line up. So we got a trend line. How we're not coming up to test it. We came up to test it here. Now, do we come up into a $2 move at 677? But again, we have a resistance level right here. I told everybody, I said 680 is a strong psychological level on SPY and 6,800 for SPX. If we break those levels and we got some more downside to go, everybody's anticipating this Santa Claus rally. But I think there's a little bit too much uncertainty in the market. We lost about 7 to 10 points yesterday. Going to lose a few. We're over 5 now. So with that uncertainty in the market, people are being cash heavy. They're getting in and scalping and getting out the way. They're not really holding it. So I don't think. I think we have some more downside. My next stop would be 670. I wouldn't take that for end of day today. You could definitely get it for tomorrow if we get that pullback on a Wednesday. But we've been having several down days. When bears eat, bulls. I'm sorry. When the bears eat, bulls are going to want to eat too. So we want to be prepared for afternoon or late in the day reversals, but it can just be very short during power hour. So I do plan. I may plan to come back for power hour. It just all depends. Thank you, Pascal, for tapping in. If you're here, let me know that you're here. Drop a one in the chat. Let me know where you're tapping in from. Let me know what trades you're looking at. I'm looking at SPY right now. This is on the 5 minute chart. I just scalped it in the past 20 minutes. Literally, I got in the trade, took my trash out, got some of the weeds out of my yard, and walked back in the house. And I was up like 30-40% before I walked out the house. Once I came back in, I was pushing 70, 80, came back and sat in front of the chart, saw it hit 110, 108, went on and took my profit. It did slightly go down some more, and I probably could have got 100%, but wasn't being greedy. And what you're seeing here now is we are finding support. So it's just like, oh, Chaz, it's supported now. Let me go ahead and get a call. It has found support, but that doesn't mean we can't break it. Remember, we want to look for at least a 2-point setup, something confirming. Like, again, I could put all the indicators on. That's going to be helpful. But let's just say you don't have all the expensive tools to be able to afford the indicators. I want you to be able to see how you can manage trading without popping up all those indicators. So now we have support. We're going to want to close above this resistance line before we take a call. Right now, we're trading inside of a range or a channel. Until we break out of that, there's no trade to take. You can guesstimate that we should push higher, but the push-ups have been weak. So I want to go with more of the trend. I'd be more leaning toward the downside of us breaking the low of the day and a continuation to the downside. But that is a bias on the day. ATR is well over 50%. So we know we could have another 20% drop to the downside, pushing it to 100. So another dollar, maybe $1.50 move and be prepared for that. But we can see there's resistance here. There's support. We just want to wait till one of those things happen. We don't sit here and watch it. We can put an alert on the chart. I can tap my chart, set an alert, and put this on and say crossing up. And then boom, I just wait for that alert to go off. I can also do it to the downside. So you're not sitting here waiting to see and watching which one of these things are going to happen. You're going to go do something else. We're going to go read articles. We're going to go practice, do whatever, market content. But we don't have to sit here and watch this. Thank you for tapping in from Alabama, coastal Georgia. Appreciate it. So as we're watching this breakout, so let's do that. Let's actually set it. So we can come back, but I want to talk about a couple other tickers. So let's set an alert. I probably don't need it to the upside, but we're going to set them both. Don't know why the template. We're just going to have that go off once on that bar, and then we'll set another one on this line and see if it goes off. That's going to bring us back to this chart. So now we can set that and forget it. So I wanted to go to my rookie of the year that I spoke about earlier, and on most of the videos is SoFi. SoFi has been my rookie of the year. It's been a phenomenal stock, and I like what they do. And I was on another platform following one of the traders I really admire, Joel. If you don't know Joel, go to my Facebook page, find Joel. And he has a group inside of trading. Great, phenomenal teacher. I learned so much. He hinted on a lot of things that like stood out to me. He talked about ATR, which is one of the key things that I use for trading. He broke it down the exact way that I talk about it. He talked about beta, and that's something I don't touch on a lot. And I'm gonna start picking up on putting down stuff about beta. But I want to put it in a way that's going to be understandable, not just a regurgitation of what he said. So we're going to start correlating beta. But he touched on I asked him, I said, what do you think about SoFi and THTA? And what made me ask about that was because there was some news. Let's see if I can find the article. Oh, that's take profit. Share dividend to the SoFi ETF. I didn't even know SoFi had an ETF. So yeah, I went in. So there's, I guess you would call it theta, but THTA, which is a SoFi enhanced yield ETF. Now, I'm not ready to jump on the bandwagon and start buying and investing into this just yet, because year over year, it has not performed well just yet. I'm still a little weary of it. I want to start to see. I want to see it grow. But I had only just heard about it because it had that news come out because SoFi is having a podcast. I think it's um, currency. I had to close it because it failed as well. When I try to show these other sites, the screens is not wanting to hold. So let's see, SoFi podcast. It's supposed to be a SoFi podcast. Let me see the news. Cashmere and SoFi launch Culture and Capital, a new podcast exploring the world of early investing, early stage. Hold on, let me read it back again. Cashmere SoFi. I'm going to close that one because it's not really wanting to work. But Cashmere and SoFi launched Culture and Capital, a new podcast exploring the world of early age investing. So since they launched that, hey Venus, thank you for checking in. Since they launched that, the shares kind of popped. They were down a bit. So this it's brought it to my attention and wanted me to take it to Joel. And so when I asked Joel about what he thought of SoFi, he said it's in my top three. Now I'm not here for competition or to be a competitor. To know that one of the tickers that I call my rookie ticker of the year to be in his top three, that's pretty cool to me, and it lets me know I'm on the right track. Again, I don't claim to know everything, but I'm learning from those ahead of me, and it lets me know I'm on the right track. If the Joel has over, I think he said like 30,000, 60,000 hours of trading. He's a millionaire investor. He's been trading longer than I probably even thought about trading. So to be on par with that type of person lets me know I'm doing good in the craft. And the alert did go off. The top alert told me to come back. I got an alert on my phone and said, and I don't know if y'all could hear it from my screen, but it said, hey, take a look because it's coming up and testing that line to the upside. So we can see that support and it's coming up and testing the upside again. We don't have to be early. We don't have to be first in order to take advantage and get into these trades. But back to SoFi. SoFi kicked off co-founders and business moguls Jenna Lyons and Johnny, I think it's Buer. The first episode will feature candid conversation with A-list founders, industry titans, and building and backing tomorrow's breakout company. So that's going to be a good podcast that I would be tuning in. But it had the shares get a little bit of a pop there. So keep an eye on SoFi. He also made another statement about investing and when should you get into a company and how to look for them. And I found that to be great because I got into SoFi at $13. They're now at like 26. So if I want to get in again, he was just like, well, think about the beta on the company and thinking about that these companies will eventually have a pullback. And with that being said, with them being at 20 at $25 or $26 a share. If I was DCAing and wanting to get back in, let's start with mid times 0.2, $5. So 20 between $20 and $21 is a good opportunity to get in. And we can watch that. We can see if the VIX is rising. If the VIX is rising, then that's going to be an opportunity to start buying low. If I do 26 times 0.3, we're about $8. So between $19 and $20 is a good buying opportunity for SoFi. We may not go back down to that $13 entry that I initially had. So we can see my alert went off to the upside, but it's still it's good to just set your alerts because we could stay stagnant right here until the end of the day. The market doesn't have to jump or pop when we want to. It can literally do this until 2 o'clock. It can stay in this channel. So this stuff might be boring. I'm definitely not going to stay on for 3 hours if it's going to stagnate like this. We can use this for some Q&A. If anybody has questions, definitely drop them in the chat. Like I said, you can see SPX is still in this range as well. But I did want to throw out some sales. Everybody likes to try to start learning to trade right now, but we're going to get into the holidays and people are going to be traveling. Then there's going to be the new year, and then there's going to be New Year, New Me. But definitely take advantage of some of the sales that I have for the group mentorship. There's $100. I'm giving $100 off the first 2 people that sign up before the end of the day. And they're only on class 2, so you still have plenty of opportunity to learn and be ready to trade into the new year. With that said, the new class will start the first Saturday in January. It'll be a new cohort. I'll be wrapping up the first cohort and continuing on with the second, and then ramping up the third. If there's not new people and they're not too far advanced, that I might include them in the second and hold off on the third. I don't want to have just 1 or 2 people. I want at least 10, or I'll just combine the groups. There's no point in doing 2 classes for 2 hours, and they're still on the same page with the group 2. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, $100 off the group mentorship is $500 off the one-on-one mentorship. And I will tell you guys, one-on-one going up 8 weeks. 8 weeks one-on-ones with me, whether that's a study session, whether those are live trading sessions. I mean, my clients, when we hop on, like I mentioned before, if you weren't on in the beginning, the client that I had a one-on-one with this morning paid for my one-on-one mentorship. She got it at 1K. She cleared 1K while we were on the call today. And this is not the first time she's cleared 1K. So that investment of working with me, being able to build her foundation, do live trading with her to make money, it's worth every penny. She's made back the investment of me teaching her several folds. So this is all kind of like the icing on the cake going forward. So I really don't have you invest in yourself on the possibility of what you can make, because possibilities don't pay bills. Your realized gains pay bills. So when we're on the call, we're getting realized gains, money that you can take out and use immediately, not prop firm, not paper trading. This is real life money. So that's the value inside of why my mentorship price is going up, because I'm providing a skill set. I'm giving hands-on trading. I'm pretty much everybody's beck and call that's in my one-on-one. They can email me. They can text me. They can DM me. I do chart analysis, break down their trades, and really create a system around them to help them become a better trader and be a profitable trader, not just in theory. So definitely take advantage of those. I may come back this evening and we might do some Q&A or recap the market and do some spins. We can get 20 people on the live, so I definitely say share it out. I'll let people spin the wheel. And I'll just say, hey, here's your name. You see my email across the screen. If you got questions or want to hop on a discovery call, feel free to shoot me an email and say, hey, Chaz, can we get on a call? I'll send you my number. And if you got questions about trading or getting into the market, how to get started, different things like that, definitely shoot me an email. I'm not inaccessible. I'm a real person. It's not a computer. So definitely take advantage of that. But I will say, hey, tap in now. My IT guy for my AI class is definitely in ramps. He's ready to go where I don't teach this full time. The automated AI class will really be the twin me that you can learn from 24/7, but it won't be cheap. It'll probably be between $800 and $1,000 to work with me 24/7. But while I'm sleeping, it's going to have the same knowledge base that I have. It's going to teach. It's going to sound. It's going to be educated just like me. But you're going to be able to access it when you want to. Just like you come to me and you say, "Hey, can I have a one-on-one?" My clients in London will be able to be on their own time. I won't have to wake up at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. My client in Korea will be able to live trade with me in a one-on-one at 11 o'clock at night while she's in Korea. That's what that next tool is going to bring. So I'm giving you guys a little preview to what it is. There will be a pre-sale order because once it fully ramps out, this thing is probably going to be $1,000. So I'm going to let people get in at a good price point between $7,000 and $1,000. It's probably going to be $1,000 to $2,000. But hey, what's the price point of one-time payment and then being able to access a live mentor all the time? The mentoring, how much is the one-on-one mentorship? If you just want a one-on-one strategy call, Pascal, the one-on-one strategy calls are $100 on sale right now. They're $25 off, so $75. If that's a strategy call, if you already know how to trade, just need a strategy, perfect your skill. If you're wanting the one-on-one mentorship, that one is $1,500. If you want the group mentorship, it'll be $500. Again, the first two people that sign up for the group mentorship, they get that $100 off, changing it from $600 to $500. And look at our range. We're getting up outside of our range. Let's switch over to SPY because I have the range labeled a little bit clear. And remember, I said, hey, we're not taking any trades until we see it break out of this range. Trading, we had support. Now we've broken out of the range. Now we would be good to have a call. It will be proper positioning. Now, if we get into the call, what trade should you take? You can take a 676 call, 677, 678. You're kind of pushing it if you go above 678 because we see the resistance right there. But if we go ahead and grab those, let me go to my watch list so we can track these on some paper trades. Again, you can paper trade in your Webull account, Robinhood account. I just add them to my watch list to kind of get an idea of how the trade is moving. So let me go add those. Let's check the price. And I've already missed some of this move. So the 676 is a $1.46. The 677 is 89. And the 678 is 46. Again, that one's always more attractive to people because it's affordable. But we're going to add those to the watch list and see how they start moving. So I can watch these percentages and see how we're going. Again, I'm on 5-minute candle, so it's going to take a little minute. Hold on. For this one to print. So we want to give it some time. Don't want to be too hasty, but we got 3 more minutes in this candle. So the price action is going to fluctuate just slightly. I would suspect we might see some resistance right at this trend line because we've seen it before. Hold on, guys. Got to change my hearing aid battery. We're green 10%, 11% on those calls. And we're still watching. Oh, we had a little bit of pullback again. We are prepared to see pullback, and because that's where buyers have been getting up. That the trend really helps. Oh, sorry guys, I missed some of the messages. How much is one-on-one mentoring? Okay, let me not butcher this. Tupac is my baby forever. Oh, I got it. Y'all, I'll be butchering these names, but I got that one. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey. Thank you for checking. But that money being made, we're watching. I added SPY 667, 677, and 678 to my watch list to see how these play out. I'm not getting in because the trend is definitely down, but we can see some short-term scalping up to the trend line. So that's what we're watching for. I saw it go into 11% profit. So we're going to see if it can keep pushing up. Again, trading is about patience. We do have a lot of volatility in the market, and the markets can pump fast. And then toward the middle of the day, this is not the exciting part of the day. That's just why we want to make a trade just because we want to. We feel like we have to be a part of the market. And that's just not the case. You need to be able to be in the market when the market is marketing, like when it's live. Like you don't go I'll use the club for example. If they say the club is like free before 10, but the club's not gonna get popping until 12 or midnight or so. You're not trying to be there super early when there's no action. So it's the same way with the stock market. You want to be there when the action happens, or there's going to be boring and it's just going to waste your money. Theta's going to go against you. It's going to chop up your premium inside the contract by being in too early. And let's check out those contracts now. Again, I put on 676, 677, and 678. All of those are over 20% now. 20%, 23%. The 678 call was up 33%. That's probably going to be the lowest amount. So it's up $17. The 676 is up 31. So even though the percentage is lower on the 676 call, the dollar amount is higher. So those percents can fluctuate. But 40% is still moving. So that easily, if you guys had tapped into that trade as we added it to our watch list, could have made a couple of dollars right there. And that's what trading is all about. IWM trying to fight. I'm sure it is. So we're looking at SPY, but I'm sure IWM is fighting back too. Everything's trying to push up now. You can see it fighting for that trend line. Same with SPX. We saw that consolidation range here. Breaks. Oh, oh. I may not be able to switch screens so often because it's not being happy with the movement. I see 46% on 678. I moved off of SPY. We're back live at the 250.20. There we go. There are my levels. There's the resistance level right there. And we got another one here. But trading ain't hard once you know what you're doing. It's kind of like riding a bike or driving a car. Initially, there's a little bit of hesitation, and then after that, you just get in and you go. 42%. Let's see if this is going to hit. Like I said, $100 before lunch, but we're hopping in here after lunch on a probably saggy part of the trading hours. And I said these are usually not exciting, but we're seeing over 44% right now. So that's pretty darn good. Again, if you added it to your paper trade, if you know what paper trade is, type of one. If you don't know what paper trading is, type of two. Let's do some education in here. Again, I want to keep bringing free game. You don't have to pay me every time. Like people want to learn, like, oh, I got to book a 101 or I got to learn. It's a lot of stuff. You'll get a lot of gems if you watch my channel, and I want to keep adding value because that's how I learn. Like I paid Diamond Dave, the retail trader, to learn, but I learned a lot more just showing up to his Saturday classes. Like my wife, we met him from dinner in Atlanta. Well, it was lunch, and my wife told me like, we hear your name more than we hear other people's name in the house because I'm like, oh, I'm listening to Diamond Dave. I'm going for a walk. I'm listening to Diamond Dave. I'm cleaning up in the house. I'm listening to Diamond Dave. Whatever, because his game was so phenomenal. I learned something. I was able to adapt my trading personality and my psychological, because the psychological part of trading is truly important as well. his listening to him really shaped my psychosis, and it's a background between, and we kind of mesh because he grew up in Kojic or with Christians and Baptists, so we know um, that part of the community as far as Christians, as far as money, and being him being from South Florida, and then me being from Memphis. There's just a certain culture around those communities that make you a different type of person. A lot of stuff we don't deal with. We're not. Both of us are really just not flashy. It's really not about us being famous. It's about really getting people to understand trading. I don't have to be seen. I don't care. I'm not going to be like the gurus that need a Lambo or need $1 million house. I can't even fathom paying for it. I don't need 7 toilets because that it ain't even 7 butts in here to use them, and he definitely don't want to clean 7 of them. But again, paper rent because the trades are almost hitting 100%. So $40 in the 678 call. The 676 is up 78, up 56%. These are about to hit $100. 100% on the 678 call. 60% and almost touching over $100 on the 676 call. So if you just tapped in with me, we've been on 36 minutes. I showed the trade. I told the 3 contracts I was looking at for growing, and they are all up, and they were all very budget friendly. The 678 contract was 45 for entry. The 677 was 87, and the 675 a little bit over, but still affordable at 103. Sorry, no, that was not 103. It was 150, and that one is up $97. It's about to hit 100%. So you can see how we waited for the setup. Great job, Chad. Thank you so much, Eve. Thank you so much, Eve. Again, I just want to show you guys setups, and it doesn't take a lot. Like, you could literally mimic what we just did here. Watch this video 10, 15 set up, or the reversal the same way down, and that would have literally paid for you. Like, okay, I don't know what your ass talking about. I don't know how to trade, but I saw her do the setup. I put in a trade. I made some money. Now I made some money, and I can pay her to explain and break this down so I can do this more consistent. But these are all over trade over 100% and making money, and we know we're going to hit some resistance right here. Why? We know I need to be securing some profit before there's a reversal, because it rejected here before. So it's not about being in here for a long time. It's about getting profits and getting out of the way if you're scalping or if you're day trading. You don't have to be like, oh, it's just going to go up and it's going to continue to keep going up. When you drive, you don't just continue to keep driving. You have a destination and then you turn around and go back some other place. That's usually how the market works too. Or you can only drive until how much gas you have. And then when you run out of gas, we got to go back to the gas station. We got to re-up and start again. So this is the first journey or your first leg. We're at about full tank to a half a tank. So it's got to go back, dig deep in the tank to keep pushing, or it's going to turn back around. I hope this is making sense to you guys. If it makes sense, drop some 5s in the chat. If you're lost, drop a 6. If it makes sense, drop a 5. If you're lost, drop a 6. Good. If you took a play or if you added it to your paper trade, let me know what you see. And this is how I teach. We don't sit up in my class, and a lot of my students can vouch for that. We don't sit up in class and watch PowerPoints. I'm not reading to you off of slides, so we're not going over definitions. You're going to do that on your own time because you're an adult. And I assume that if you're working with me, you can read. So you can go read on your own. What I'm showing you is implementation. Because a lot of people get analysis paralysis and they come in the market and they can tell me everything about the Fibonacci retracement, the orb, the setup. And I'll tell them, okay, how much money have you made? Oh, I've never taken a trade. I want you in here trading. I want you to be capable, not just knowledgeable of the assets. I want you capable of trading. I want to get you learned up. Like my students that are about in my first group, we're going to trade together. I want to see them execute a trade, whether it's a $5 trade, a $2, whatever. They're going to know how to do it. When I've had a client tell me they purchase a $700 course and they've never taken a trade, oh, that hurts my feelings. There's no way you pay me $700 and you've never taken a trade. Never? Not on my watch. Not with me. I got a client right now. They referred their sister. And I said, okay, for you helping your sister out, you get a free one-on-one with me. I said, hey, if this week doesn't go well, send me a DM and say 911 and I'm going to get you on my calendar. No, I'm not looking for her to pay me for the one-on-one. I'm just going to help her out. One, she's helping somebody else learn. And two, she just might need a reset call. We went over a particular strategy over the phone, but we may need to do it in real time. And if their job permits, we're going to get on a call together. Because again, it's not all about the money. It's about really getting the education. Now, no, I don't teach everybody for free, and you can't come to me and say, "Oh, I got a sob story, and it's going to be free, and I just need this," because working in desperation does not make you profitable. So even if I teach you for free and you really, really need to get this, you really, really still may mess up. So I take that into account, and I don't just let you go out here and crash out with trying to trade to kind of better your situation until you have a proper foundation. Again, you guys may know, some of you guys know I'm in a Discord. I don't talk about Discord a lot because I don't want you guys to get the misconception that you can just run over there and make a whole lot of money and then you come back and you're like, I don't know what I do. If me and all the analysts don't wake up and give a trade, then you don't know what to do. So I first trade you up and make you a knowledgeable uh, capital manager. And then we layer on. This is a layering education. Those contracts are up over $100 each one, I believe now. Well, no, the 678 is up $73. The 677 is up 96. It just dropped back down, and the 675 is hold on. Why does that one keep blanking out? No, sorry, 676 is up to $103, 82%. So these are all well over the range. Easy setup. 5-minute candles. This was 30 minutes of money making. And I think everybody in here probably could afford that $45 contract. And it's over 100% and up to $70 now. And it's going right to our target. You could have just took the trade, stayed in until it hit that yellow line. And now you can say, Chaz, I can get out. Yep, you can get out. Can you still hold it? You sure can. But you're being a little greedy if we're over 100%. I'm just giving you fair warning. And we're also about to hit resistance where it was before. So if it can get up here and test resistance and close above again, then we have another continuation. But the likelihood of us going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles without a pullback, a little bit slim. We might start to see a little bit reversing or some profit taking. But we can see there's a reversal. I don't have my mogul algo indicator on, but I'm sure it's going to say a change of character or on the chart. Let's see if I can add it and you guys see. We have break a structure here. Probably should have had a little change of character down here. But we can see that resistance level. So even without me having the indicator, I know where the sell block is without this popping up. Why? Because I trade spot. I know psychologically where the price action is, and I know where the pain points are. I have the level set there before I even put this indicator on. The indicator helps. So again, if you struggle with trading, you need something to help with the psychological part and the confidence booster, using the indicator is a great help. But you don't want that to be your starting factor. I need to hop off and head into a meeting. When is your next live chat? I don't know, Eve. I'm gonna try to get a schedule together. Hopefully in the new year I'll have a set schedule where we can pop on 2 or 3 times a day. It just depends on how my one-on-ones works, but I'll be back. I hopped in late, but got 42%. Look, if you immediately, Eve is an action taker. Like Eve is one I will praise Eve all the time because Eve follows my directions always. If I throw a trade and tell what the setup is, Eve can easily take the trade. She's inside of my Discord, has been around for quite some time, easily follows directions, get that money and get up out of here. It don't take all day. And that was literally, we've only been on here 45 minutes. And in this 45 minutes, this was traced over 50, 60s, 100% returns. So we'll sit on for about 6 more minutes and then I'm gonna get up out of here. I might not be back on Power Hour because we've seen the move. I just try to get some variance in. And then, like I said, something's wrong with my StreamYard. I might have to restart my laptop. I know I got too many tabs open, and I'm gonna get a new laptop, but it's lagging horribly and keeps fading out. But if you got questions, if you need to reach me, Pascal, definitely shoot me an email. I got you. Anybody else? Jason, thank you for hopping on. If anybody else, if you got questions, if you want to come up and chat, let me put the link in the comments if you guys want to hop on with me and ask it directly. If not, you can shoot me an email and get your discovery call in. I'll be taking a few calls today. And somebody missed their call actually. That's why I wasn't on earlier. I was waiting on a call to come through. Um, but yeah, if you guys got questions, if you want to tap in and start at the beginning of the year, I'll be here. I appreciate you, Chaz. Oh, I'm trying to show it, guys. This thing is really being wonky. See you in the Discord next live. Yep. I'm gonna try to get the schedule down, guys. Like, just give me a minute to manage it for the new year. These are just pop up times, but the new year we will have a set time of when we will go live trading. Just trying to ramp you up. Test the water, test the engagement, so I can get you guys get a system down so you guys can listen to trading, even if you're working. You see how I call out the charts and the level. I did have a client say, hey, they just put me on in their ear and they could trade from it because they know I pretty much trade like them, and they not doing any fluff. They know if I'm saying that there's a resistance here or we're up to VWAP or there's a particular level, they're able to trade that setup. So it's pretty good. 4 more minutes, guys. I know the chat lags, but if you got questions, comments, drop them below. If you want to come on, use that StreamYard tag. I'll bring you up in the studio and you can talk to me live. If not, like I said, we got 4 minutes and then we're going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody for showing up. If you've enjoyed this live, drop some sevens in the chat. If you made some money, drop some money bags. Drop those percentages in those money bags. I got to get out and do some shopping. Thank you guys. So 3 more minutes. You can see now. See if you were trading, you knew exactly where to get in, how long to hold, and when to get out. Because now we're coming back down to test VWAP, and we get back under. This thing is going to test and come back down. But we're prepared for that because we knew what we had resistance here. We could see the resistance line. It's nothing to shake us out of our boots because we're prepared for it. Now, how do we know if we want to take a put? I guess I'll stay on a few more minutes so we can do the reversal. Well, there's resistance here. And then we want to see it close below that resistance line. We get that 2 point setup. Also, we have a third confirmatory factor, which would be we need to close below VWAP because we could bounce right here. Market could come back up, buyers could come in, continuation for the from the pullback and continue up. If we're continuing to the downside, we want to see that 5 minute candle close below VWAP. So we want that next confirmatory factor to get a put. What puts will we look at? 677, 676 puts. We don't want to go too far out of the money this late in the day. Stay very close if you're doing 0 DTE, or just go ahead and get tomorrow's contract. Thank you for dropping those sevens, letting me know you guys get it. Yeah, that's about it, guys. You got 2 minutes, and then we're out of here. If there's no questions or comments, we got 2 minutes, and we're getting out of here. But that was a nice little run right there. Beautiful, beautiful trades. And again, every trade you take doesn't have to be in your brokerage. You can take paper trade. You can, learn first crawl before you walk. You don't have to just throw your money out at learning this information. Your pace, your race, your journey. Don't feel rushed. All right, we can see it's still pulling up. Make sure you have your bar countdown on. There's about 3 more seconds in that candle. Let's see if it pops down or pops up for the next candle. And it's selling down. Look at there. Very easy confirmation to wait for. All we needed to see was okay. We got a rejection. We got closed. We're getting closed below VWAP, and it sells down. It's not magic. It's math. Seeing a little buyers come in. So here, I would also cut on my fair value gap so I can see where the money at. See where the money pop up at? If I want this to push down, I need to see sellers come push through the money. Money, money, money. And if they don't, what's going to happen? Doesn't matter if it's going to push. If I don't want it to push down, sellers have to come push this down. But we're over it. I got you guys. I appreciate y'all showing up. Probably not going to be back on for Power Hour. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You know, Wednesdays are pullback Wednesdays, so I'm prepared for more bearish activity. But when they want you to look left, I always look right. So Wednesdays are usually a pullback day. I might be in preparation for this to be a kind of a trick, and it's like a 50-50 pullback, and then it pops back up. So I'm a little 50-50. I'm usually very, very bearish on a Wednesday, but with us being bearish this whole week makes me a little cautious for tomorrow. When I noticed today, spot always rejects a VWAP. It does. It can have that. It was like, yeah, you can definitely see that. But I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Happy trading day. Don't give any money back.